But
we try to. I mean, you can use. Well, we try to have people use them in the area.
Okay, is it if it's okay if I'm not?
But, yeah,
way?
no, you can use it in the area.
Yeah.
No
quick question: are you one of the sales guys or trainer or both?
Trainer.
Trainer. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you a quick question?
Okay.
I just signed up and had it sent to me. I'm switching careers now and taking my NSAM certification.
Mm-hmm.
Any advice, recommendations, anything? Which certification do you hold, if you don't mind me asking?
I hold several, actually.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter which one
just
you
any
hold.
advice, just any advice, just getting into the industry. Complete.
Don't expect to make a lot of money.
Right.
That'll be
that's okay. You know, that's why I switched. It came from a pretty lucrative career, and at my age, fortunately, my wife's an attorney. She makes a lot of money. I got a 17-year-old kid, dude. I keep preaching my kid to do something he loves, and here I am going to work every day, making good money and fucking hating it. So my thought process was, you know what? I'm blessed that my wife makes a lot of money, and I can't stand going to work every day doing something I hate. I grew up an amateur boxer my whole life. I trained guys at the Cincinnati Boxing and Fitness Club. I'm USA Boxing certified. Boxing's my passion. I just have an aptitude for teaching. I used to run a title boxing club, and they used to always ask me, I used to fill in for classes. Dude, can you teach the class? I love when you teach the class. So I'm saying, you know what? I think this might be my calling. And, I don't give a shit if I make 30, 40 grand a year, as long as I can.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
As long as you go into it
knowing that,
yeah, and not to go into it to think you're going to make money,
no,
then you'll make money.
Now, how long have you been doing it?
I've been certified training since 2004.
Okay.
So 12 years, but I was training 2 years before that. Before it became every club has
before
to.
It became a fad.
You have to be certified and everything. Because I worked for Gold's Gym and as a trainer and wasn't certified.
Now let me ask you, with your experience, right, which is immense, obviously, why are you working for a big box gym and not your own thing?
Well, life.
Okay. And I don't mean that as a derogatory question. I'm just curious because I would think with your immense experience, you could be running your own thing. But I'm a guy that's used to a bi-weekly paycheck because that's just all I know for the last 20 years.
It's life. It's life.
Meaning, if you don't mind elaborating, unless I'm getting too personal.
No.
I don't want to get too personal.
No, I'm the kind of person, I'm pretty much an open book.
Okay, I'm Ryan, by the way.
Steve,
pleasure to meet you.
Now,
just moved to town about a month ago.
What happened was I've always grown up working out. My dad was a football coach for 30 plus years, almost 40 years.
Sure.
So I was always working out. And it wasn't until probably 2000 to 2002 where I really started working on myself, going, because I was a hard gainer, so I was always a skinny guy. But
same here, man.
It was like I started working and people started noticing, and then I started asking me questions and stuff. So I actually started training people. I didn't have to be certified at Gold's Gym at the time. They gave you a test. If you passed the test,
if you had some knowledge about what to do, then you were good to go.
So I started doing that, and then they started changing, saying everybody had to be certified. So I got certified, and then I ended up getting married, had a kid, and I worked for Gold's Gym, which was like this, a big box, and then a lot of stuff started to happen to where I left Gold's Gym. Where'd you move from?
I lived all over, but I just came here from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, you've heard of Urban Active?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
absolutely do. Have
So before they turned the Gold's Gyms to Urban Active,
I was gonna say they bought. I was just gonna say they bought Gold's.
Yeah. Well, they didn't buy them.
Or they
switched the name.
Okay. Yeah.
The guy, Royce, that owned them, he just switched the name because his franchise contract with Gold's Gym right now.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
So, and then they already started going downhill, and that's when I was like, okay, I gotta leave.
Sure.
And at the time, I was like, well, I can't take the risk of starting my own.
That's exactly
and
where
then
I'm at.
Trying to build back up because I had a kid, a wife. So I was like, oh, you know what? Let me just go. So I was still in the health industry, so I started working for Walgreens and pharmaceuticals and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, man, I did that for a few more years, and then I got to the point where you were, and I'm just like, this is not what I want to do. I'm gonna sit behind a desk all day, and something like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going back, and at the time, I just wanted to do a part-time, because I was making good money, and I needed that consistent bi-weekly paycheck.
Same here, man.
I was like, making good money.
That's all I know. I mean, that's kind of, I'm raised lower middle class, and that's what I know, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't come from money, and you were happy just to get a paycheck. I don't have which, you know, is honestly, I don't have an entrepreneurial spirit. I don't have the balls yet, and hopefully I will, because, you know, I want to try something, but I'm just not that guy to, I mean, I got to try to, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just not that guy to I'm afraid to go out and do something like that. I wouldn't know where to begin.
And a place like this is actually a lot of trainers come and go.
Yeah.
Because it's a stepping
ground.
It's
a stepping stone.
If people work it right.
Yeah.
Actually, we have a couple of trainers that are getting ready to leave. And so when there's a trainers like myself and Dave, the older gentleman, that have been here for a little while, and people come to know us and see us.
Then you obviously start.
And we are busy. Like I wanted to be a part-time trainer here.
How do you go about
3 years ago when I applied to be a part-time trainer here? At the time he was a district vice president.
Sure.
And he interviewed me, and he was like, "Why do you want to switch careers?" I was like, "Well, actually, I just want to be a part-time trainer."
Sure.
You know, because I wanted to get my feet wet back in the boxing, do something that I love, but still make the money that I was over here. And he was like, "Oh, well, you have the background and the skills to do this and that." So he sold me on being a training director, which was the sales guy up front, you know, over the trainers.
And I have a sales background, which maybe that might be a good route for me. You know, I mean, I've spent 15 years in sales. I don't know. I mean, the reason I got out of it is I was tired of being as good as my last month. In other words, you know, I mean, obviously this is also a commission type job, but I was tired of having 2 bad months, and after 2 years of, you know, winning salesman of the award, after a bad quarter, you get pulled in the office and it's, "Hey, bro, what's going on?" And you're like, "Jesus Christ, am I going to be on fucking unemployment now because I've kicked ass for a year and now I've had 3 slow months?" And I just couldn't stand the ups and downs of it. So I was like, I gotta get out. I can't do this anymore. So my question, another question I have for you, if you don't mind, is, you know, how old are you, bro, if you don't mind me asking?
43.
Okay, I'm 41. So is my age going to be either advantage or disadvantage or neither? I've had both. I've had some people which really opened my eyes. I usually keep a original and pessimistic attitude and work on it. But someone said, which he's like, "Yeah, look, do you know what? It'll probably help you in some ways, because I think the 45-year-old chubby guy out of shape or the chick that's trying to get into the dress would rather work out with someone your age than some 22-year-old, you know, kid." I mean, does it?
It's
in your opinion,
it's
someone new in the industry, does it matter or no?
It is always dependent upon the person.
Okay.
That
will it hamper me getting hired somewhere or no?
It won't hamper you getting hired.
Okay. Would it look as an advantage maybe because I've got real world work experience? I've trained, I've run, you know, I've managed a gym, I've trained people before without a certification.
The only thing is, in a box gym like this, when you go to apply to be a trainer in a box gym like this, they will look at your experience and go, "Oh, you've done sales? You've done this?"
And they'll try to get me to
always
do
want
sales.
to try to get you to do sales.
Because it's more lucrative for them.
Right. And it can be more lucrative for you.
Would you recommend just saying, "Fuck you, I want to train," and either hire me or not, or saying just to get your foot in the door, "How about I split my time doing both?" Or do you get that option?
They talked about doing that option.
Yeah.
But they've yet to do it.
Yeah.
There's been a few people who have done the sales for a few months and then went into the personal training side of it.
So I don't want to be in sales. I won't do it.
No. So I did it for 7 months.
How did it go?
I did it for 7 months and did not like it whatsoever. I mean, I had the experience in doing it anyway, but I was like,
I sold membership sales before.
I just didn't like, you know, the tactics that they want you to use.
Yeah.
I'm not
borderline unethical, you know?
I'm not
right?
Like that, so
fucking calling the same guys, calling them 4 or 5 times, calling everybody you signed up, "Who do you know?"
Yep.
And it's, you know, it's intrusive almost.
Yeah, so I don't.
You know, I'm used to a consultative sale, which, you know, it's not that selling gym memberships isn't, but, you know, I'm used to, you know, a long process. I work for software companies, so these were business to business selling to Fortune 500 consultative sales jobs. So, you know, I'm not a big fan of consumer sales.
Right.
You know, if I'm going to be in sales, I'd rather do it on a corporate level. You know, obviously in this industry, it's, you know, that's not an option at this point, or at least, you know, maybe somewhere down the line where someone like goes into like corporate training and stuff, but I'm sure I've got to have experience at your level to get there.
You just got to have some experience.
So what's your advice to me if you know, if I'm want to get my feet wet, I don't feel comfortable starting on my own yet because I want to at least train people for a year?
What you do is because
I just ordered my materials. I'm waiting for them to come from NASM. Did I go with the right one?
NASM
I told don't start with ACE. They said start with NASM was what a lot of people I knew in the industry told me. And then I heard it doesn't fucking matter, dude.
Yeah, that's what I always tell people. I say it doesn't.
But
matter.
I did see, and you know what convinced me was 3 people that I knew in the industry. 2 out of 3 said, I don't look at people with ACE. I prefer NASM, but I'll hire them if they've got experience. And then
and that's really the key.
And another one I saw, because I saw a couple, including Lifetime Fitness and another big box gym, that said, regardless of what certification you hold, we require you to get NASM certified within 6 months.
Yeah, Lifetime. I know Lifetime.
So I figured maybe that's the one. If they really don't matter, then maybe that's at least the one I can't go wrong with.
Well, here we go. The short of it.
Yeah, and I hope I'm not keeping you, by the way.
No,
I'm doing
you're
what
fine.
you gotta do, bro.
The short of it is, there's no law that says that you have to be certified to be a trainer.
Right.
There's no law.
Okay.
It's just something that all of a sudden in like 2004 or 5, it was like, you have to be certified. You have to be certified, this, that, whatever. Yeah. And so every gym has done it now.
And it's not like you have a 4-year degree in kinesiology. I mean, how much are you going to... Yeah, but I'm saying, how much are you really learning in a 2-3 month course on training? I don't know.
And then LA Fitness, there's like 28 certifications that they take.
Wow.
And then there's some, like Lifetime, it's like, you have to be NASM.
Right.
But when it boils down to it, doesn't matter which sort of, because I know people who have NASM, ISSA, and ACE, and they suck at training. And I know people who have expert rated training, which is like a $45 online course that you do.
Right. Yeah,
and are very good.
I really wanted to go back to school for kinesiology, but dude, I'm similar to you, and I don't know your background, but I started college at young. I got into sales. I'm 41 years old. I just got in the right industry at the right time because we're the same age. I hit software sales when software and hardware were in the early 90s, where the industry was. So dude, I was 23, 24, making $100,000 a year at that time, and not because I was just so wonderful. I was good at what I did, but it was just right industry, right time. So I just never made the time to go back to college. I said to my pops, I'm having a hard time. My dad's like, dude, I don't even make that kind of money, so how can I convince you to go back to school?
Right.
And I'm at a disadvantage. I'm 41 with no 4-year degree. So, not in this industry, probably. I've heard that, you don't really, as long as you're certified, you've got your experience, but...
It comes down to how good you are and experience. And when it comes to your age, it, depending on the clientele, it's it can be a benefit and it can be a hindrance. And I will tell you why. I'm 43. When I shave and I'm clean shaven, I don't look my age.
Right.
So
except for my hairline, same thing.
And that's one of the reasons why I wear a hat all the time. So some people
give me a hat.
But we're like, oh, he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah. And I'm 6 months out of the gym. I usually walk around 195, 8-9% body fat. I've had a shoulder injury. I just got back in the gym 3 weeks ago.
So people will look at you first.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
And then you have them, what I call the smart ass people.
Right.
Well, what kind of certification do you have?
Yeah. Why? Do you even know the difference between any of them and what they do?
Right. Yeah. And then there's other people that'll watch.
I agree. Aesthetically, the average Joe who doesn't know anything, and it's ironic because the best trainers I've ever come across and coached with and ever were a lot of times were older guys that weren't in the greatest shape. They were still in shape, but they weren't 8-9% body fat ripped up. They were just healthy looking.
Right. And there's also like.
But yeah, I can see the average person looking around being like, okay, he looks pretty big.
Yeah, he looks like.
Yeah, I want to look like him, so I think I want him to train me.
How can I get arms like you?
Yeah, exactly. When they don't realize 90% of it's fucking diet anyway, so.
So, they see what what you look like, and then they watch what you do.
Sure.
So, I have clients now that when I started, when I came from the sales side to the training side, there were some people like, you were just in sales, so what do you know about training? I'm like, but just because you don't know me.
Sure.
And they wouldn't train with me.
Wow.
Would not train with me.
Wow.
But then they saw me out here. Now I wear different clothes as a trainer than I did as a salesperson.
Sure.
So now they look at me and they're like, okay, and then they see me training other people. Now they're like, oh, happy to train with me.
Wow.
So because they see I'm like, you like cussed me out the first time I talked to you, and you didn't want to train with me. And then you'll have people who in shape. Oh yeah, well I'm getting old. I'm like, really? How old are you? And they're like, oh, I just turned 30. I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, I know I'm old. I'm
you know
like,
what though?
Okay, I'm 40.
I was in better shape at 40 than I was at 30. Basically, simply upon knowledge. At our age, when we were in our 20s, the formula for getting big was eat as much protein as you can, right? Eat as much protein and as much as you can. Eat 6 times a day, 3,000 calories a day, and lift heavy, right? Wasn't that the formula for getting big? That was our thing, right? That's what we knew.
It's just,
I was lean just because genetically I was a skinny kid. People used to come up to me and ask me what I did for abs. I never even did a crunch. I just was genetically lean because I was a skinny kid. Let me ask you another question, if you don't mind. And I'm so appreciative, bro, of your taking time to answer my questions. Twofold. Number one, I just joined, and my thing comes with, you know, a free training.
Free assessment.
Now, I want to do that, but I want to ask you, and obviously it'll benefit you because you're making money. I don't want to waste your time just helping me on your own accord. If I ask them to take that free assessment with you, can we, A, do the assessment but talk more about how you're training me as opposed to me being trained? Do you understand what I'm saying?